Oh, what's up? We're live. Better late than never, right? Better late than never. It's okay. We're working over here on BizBuzz Live. Hey, what's up, everybody on LinkedIn and YouTube? We're back for another BizBuzz Live. Like I said, a little late never hurts anybody. We're still here to make it happen. You're going to want to check this one out today if you really want to increase your income. Today, again, we're talking about cash flow on the show, but we're talking about how you're going to boost that income. I'm going to give you some ideas. Stick around. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another BizBuzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan. We're here. It's been a hectic morning. I hope you're having a good Friday. We live in chaos over here. We love it. No, I'm joking. But things are well. As always, feel free to follow me on any other platform. If you don't see my face here on YouTube or on LinkedIn, you could probably find me some other places like Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or somewhere else. But as always, here to have some of these important financial conversations with you. Some of those important financial conversations that I want to make sure that we're having. Again, the thesis of this that inevitably, when I sit down with people and we start having these financial conversations, yes, we'll talk about insurance, and yes, we'll talk about investments, and yes, we'll even talk about your debt or your budgeting and all those things. But it always normally comes back to your cash flow. It comes back to what's coming in and what's going out. Before we can talk about your investing, we got to know how much do you have to invest. Before we can really dive into your savings and paying off debt, we really got to find out, well, how much extra do you have every month in order to pay off your debt, in order to save more? Before we can look at your insurance coverage and know what proper protection looks like, we need to figure out first, like, how much monthly discretionary income do you have and where's it going? So inevitably, it comes back to our cash flow. And when we talk cash flow, one of the things that we neglect is making more money. One of the biggest drivers, if not the biggest driver in your financial life, is your income. It's how you're choosing to make money. And so we can pinch pennies and budget and get as low as possible and continue to coupon and continue to shop value and the whole nine. But if we can just learn to increase our income, if you can go from making $7,000 a year to 10,000, or excuse me, 7,000 a month to 10,000 a month, your financial life will change. If you can go from making $4,000 a month to making $9,000 a month, your financial life will change, right? You'll have all the things you want. If you can go from making 10 grand a month to making 30 grand a month, your financial life will change. So at the end of the day, that is the driver, but we don't often talk about it. We don't often talk about how to boost our income, how to change our income, right? So I'm going to today on today's show, because I was running a little bit late, let's just dive right into it. I'm going to give you 3 ideas. And again, we all have ideas and you may have your own ideas. By the way, if you do have your own ideas, feel free to drop a note, drop a comment of what your idea might be to boost income. I know people try all different types of things, side businesses, side hustles, multi-level marketing, network marketing type companies, direct sale type companies, right? People try all different types of things to be able to go out there and supplement their income. And I would love to hear it. And if you got questions on what to do, right? Like, hey, let's schedule some time. Let's talk about it. But today I'm going to give you 3 ones that I came across some content on all of them, and it made me think like, man, that's probably a good idea too. I just know that these might be some underutilized ideas. And I'm always going to talk to you from the standpoint of starting the business, or right, like doing something that is going to have the horsepower to get you to where you want to go. Again, direct selling companies, you want to sell makeup or jewelry, that's totally fine. If you think that that has the horsepower to get you to where you want to go. I know a lot of those companies just do a good job of kind of selling you the dream. It's really hard to make a lot of money off of a $5 product, off of a $7 product, off of, right, something that, you know, people only use like twice a month. Like it's sometimes tough. Anyways, Here's some ideas of some things we've been thinking about. Cleaning businesses. A cleaning business. Guess what? We all got to clean our house or our apartment or our place of living. Cleaning businesses are very popular because, one, everyone needs it. Everyone needs to clean. Everyone needs to feel some sense of cleanliness, right? And huge market cap in the business. I'm reading here the global cleaning market is on pace to reach $468 billion in revenue by 2027. And only about 10% of households in the US use residential cleaning services. Only about 10% of houses. So from a cleaning standpoint of residential, there's a huge market. 90% of people in America don't use someone that cleans their house or helps them clean their house. What about on the commercial side? Not just the residential side, on the commercial side, these contracts to clean buildings. People start their own businesses, and maybe it just is a small business. They have a small shop, they have a small restaurant. I know when I used to work at small restaurants, right? Like, we do all the cleaning. But every once in a while, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, you have someone come in and do some deeper cleaning. Most people just make their staff do it, right? And pay their staff to come in. But what if that were a service that you could market and be like, hey, local businesses, you want to get, local restaurants, you want to get your health rating proper, no more health code violations. Let us come in and do the deep cleaning for you twice a month, right? Every other Friday, we come in, we move out the fridges and get above the hood and get underneath all the stuff that all of your sloppy, lazy cooks are not getting to, and your front of the house people aren't getting to. Let us come do that for you. Sure, it might be a little extra expense, but people might like and want to show up more to a clean restaurant. What if there are other local small businesses around your town that, if you just get the services started, that would actually need it? So both from a residential side and a commercial side, those are two huge markets if people are humble enough, because that's probably what it is. Why someone listening right now is like, oh, I wouldn't get into, I don't know, I wouldn't get into the cleaning space. I'm not cleaning somebody's toilets. I'm not cleaning somebody's bathroom or whatever it is. But if you humble yourself and say, well, 90% of households don't have anyone clean, and there's new businesses and office buildings and all types of stuff popping up every single day, right, in many communities, well, maybe there's an opportunity to bring in some extra money by starting a small business that way. What about the people that, what if you just looked at people over the age of 60? Right? What if you just looked at people that, are older? What if you had a cleaning service and maybe you did volume instead of charging them a lot of money? Maybe you just did volume, and you could help seniors just organize their stuff. As people age and as people get older, they're going to need a lot more services, and maybe cleaning services is one of them. How much could you charge for that? I don't know. We have a cleaner. We have somebody that cleans. I think she's like $30 an hour, $40 an hour. I don't know. Right? Like, what if you charge $30 an hour and it took you an hour and you went once a week? That's an extra $120 with just one client. So what if you found 8 of those, 7 of those? What if you charged a bit more, or you're at someone's house for 3 hours instead of just one? You could bring in that extra $1,000, extra $1,500 every month. What if you decide to grow that side business and then have some cleaners and get some better products and get some better marketing, and then all of a sudden you have more clientele? Now that $1,000 a month that you were just doing, working a bit extra for yourself, maybe that turns into an extra $4,000 a month, and you have 3 people that work with you. You might not see the full extra 4,000. You got to offset some for them, but that's an idea to boost your income. Everyone needs cleaning. Are you humble enough to say, I'll clean your toilet, I'll clean your house? If not, walk into the business and be like, I'll clean your business. If they've never had a business, if they've never had cleaning before, offer one time free, and then see what happens. See how you grow your business that way. So that's one idea of a side business that you could start, whether you got a full-time job, whether you're an entrepreneur, right? And a lot of people have gotten away from the Ubers and, right, the taxi services, the Uber Eats. A lot of people have gotten away from that as they see it doesn't necessarily create all the money that they want to. But getting yourself some cleaning supplies, some brooms, some mops, some other supplies that you need to clean, and walking into somebody's house might benefit them. It might benefit you. So that's one idea of a way to boost your income. That's a side business idea. Here's another one. What about event or food carts, like event carts, food carts? I've seen a lot of these on social recently, but I don't know if you've ever thought about them. Whether it's, I know we did an episode where we looked at that charcuterie cart, where a lady, I think she was down in Florida, set up this charcuterie, like a push cart. You know how like on the beach they got the little used to be ice cream carts where the guy just comes down and they open it up. It's got a little freezer. They give you the ice cream, the whole thing. Well, what about a little push cart for charcuterie? Where if you set up a little salami and a little ham and a couple different types of cheeses and grapes and apples and a little bit of condiments, and like you sell a little charcuterie plate on the beach or at an event, something like that. Making a good amount of money, probably. Making a good amount of money, and it probably isn't a high startup. I've seen people do this with ice cream sundaes, or build your own bouquets like flowers or pancakes, or all types. There's all types of little carts that you could set up if you are in a city that has a lot of events, or you just know that you're in a touristy area or in a place where you can get to a touristy area where there's more foot traffic. Maybe you live near a beach. Maybe you live near some other major attraction. What if you just 3 nights out of the week, 3 days, 3 nights out of the week, both of your days off from work, you go out there with whatever it is, your charcuterie, your hot dog truck, your Build-A-Bear bouquet truck, like whatever it is. Could be a way to boost your income. Could be a way to bring in an extra 50 to $100 every day, or maybe even more, right? Depending on what you're selling. Could be bringing in $500, $1,000 extra. But you got to give yourself a chance, ladies and gentlemen. You got to give yourself a chance to be able to boost your income, to say, hey, you know what? I need to be able to grow my income a bit here. So what ideas do I have? What is it that I can get really good at? So maybe thinking about a truck, a small cart, a push cart, somewhere where there's people. And if you offer it to them and it's convenient, they're going to buy it. They're going to buy it. But you got to have that idea, and then you got to execute on it. All right. So those were 2 different ones that we just looked at. We looked at cleaning businesses. We also looked at little event carts or little food carts, whatever those might be for you. Here's the last one. Let's look at the insurance space. You want to grow your income. I was just talking to somebody, and again, this is an industry that my wife and I have been in for quite some time now, right? 12 years, going on 12 years or so. And the way that we got started was not because we knew anything about insurance, wanted to help people with insurance, wanted to get a license. Like, that wasn't the reason why. Like, we had no knowledge of it. But a couple things. One, we figured out it was just another people business, right? And we're doing really good work for people. But 2, there's a low barrier to entry. It's a really low barrier to entry, right? The entry is just like a little overhead to get a license. And then you become a licensed professional. I've heard, right, some other financial people, probably here on LinkedIn, right? A lot of financial advisors and, right, wealth managers don't like insurance people. They believe they give a lot of misinformation around things, and a monkey could pass that test or whatever the case is. I don't know. But either way, it's a low barrier to entry to getting in. And once you get in, you can start to realize that there's a lot of money in the industry as long as you do the right things and you're able to help people, right? Says about 100 million Americans are either without life insurance or are not properly protected. So there's a huge market for what it is we're doing. And once you have that license, you can go off and you can be able to make as much money as you want, in all honesty. And again, low barrier of entry. And a lot of times, if you find the right organization, you find the right company, you'll have some good people around you that can help you in that process of getting an insurance license and then actually getting some clients and learning how to do it properly. There's a lot of bad leadership in the market, right? There's a lot of bad leadership out there, bad companies, people that don't have the best interest at heart. That's fine too, right? But talk about us, right? Like, again, if you're watching this, it's because you're semi-familiar with my face or my voice, right? You can always reach out to me and we can have a conversation about it. But it's definitely one of the easier ways to kind of get into a side industry, an industry that has the horsepower to bring you in an extra $2,000-3,000 a month, $4,000 a month part-time. You don't have to quit your job. You don't got to leave what you're doing. You just got to have a heart for people, learn how to go pass a test that is a relatively simple test, and then get around the right people. And then we show you exactly how to go off and do it. We show you how to go build the business. And you can do it part-time. You don't have to switch your career. All you got to do is get a license. I was telling somebody that because they were looking at, I got a call from somebody that was just about to get their insurance license. They were looking at a completely different company than ours, which I don't know why you would do that. You should just come to me, right? Just come to me. But they were looking at a completely different company. And I was kind of giving them the pros and the cons of all the sides. And I was like, hey, but at the end of the day, you're making a good choice. Getting the insurance license, this is one of the industries that like we're constantly looking for people, and the market's not oversaturated like real estate, right? A lot of people think that, oh, let me just get my real estate license. I love them, right? That's great. But like, talk to anybody that's been in real estate for longer than 5 years, longer than 7 years. Like those first 2, 3, 4 years, like it's rough because you don't know how to build a market. You don't have the same leadership, the same help, the same ability, and the market's saturated. There's a limited supply of houses. They're really not making any more. That's the problem, right? There's a limited supply of the things you can sell and a lot of people doing that action. There's in every brokerage in your city, there's 20 to 40 realtors that are attached to that brokerage. So how many realtors are running around your city all for this group of homes that's a limited amount? Saturated. It becomes tough. The opposite here in the insurance space, we don't have enough people to supply the entire demand. That's why they're getting their information from the internet and all types of places. And just, a lot of these companies now figured out how to do their own automated sales, like just fill out this form and right. Like you can kind of get your own insurance on that side, but you don't have somebody kind of walking you through it. It's because we need people. Right? So again, this could be something that boosts your income. If you're open to some type of supplemental income, this could be something that boosts your income for sure. Living proof here, right? So we'll drop a link down here. If you want to learn more or you're interested about the insurance space, feel free to click that or copy that link. It's bit.ly/join united. It'll take you to our landing page. You set up some time with us. We can have a conversation with you about pros, cons, what you're looking for, all that good stuff, right? So that's there for you. Feel free to reach out. But today we gave you 3 business ideas to boost your income for those of you that need to just make more money. You can't keep pinching pennies. You can't keep lowering your budget anymore. Like you can't go any lower than what you are. You might have 20 or 40 bucks that you're wasting every month, but you probably can't go much lower in your expenses. Well, the only other option is we got to go make more money. So you got to start thinking about ways to make more money. Gave you 3 ideas. We talked about cleaning businesses. Everyone needs to clean something. You can get very niche in the market and say, hey, I just want to deal with commercial properties. I just want to deal with certain small business owners. I just want to deal with people over 60 or over 65. I maybe just want to deal with this certain type of residential. Maybe I just want to do Airbnb type stuff or apartment type stuff. You can figure it out, but that's a way, if you're humble enough to go out and do it, that's a way to bring in extra income. The other thing that we talked about was having a little small cart, creating a cart, a charcuterie cart, ice cream cart, make your own flowers cart, s'mores cart, anything, right? And any type of cart that you can push around, very low startup, doesn't take a lot for you to be able to create it or put into it. You just got to work. You got to be in a place where there's a lot of foot traffic, where there's a lot of people that need those types of things, or a lot of events or festivals, those types of things, and you'll be able to make some type of income. The other side is the insurance space. Do what my wife and I did. We had no idea that we would be in this space. And then when we came in, we realized how much opportunity was here and how many people were not doing this, or the people that had quit and fell out and constantly, evolving, and there's a ton of money and a ton of fulfillment because we're doing the right thing for people. We are, as they say in the insurance space, protecting widows and children. Widows and orphans, right? Widows and children. That's who our mission is for. That's who our heart is for, as we do deal on this life insurance space. So again, those are some options for you. We're going to keep talking about this throughout the month of what are some other options to boost your income. I'm always going to push you into the business, the entrepreneur side. Getting a second or third job probably is not the option. The more you make, the more they take, meaning the government. The high, like the more hours you're working on a W-2, the less hours you're going to have for yourself in your life, and your financial life normally doesn't change as much. I've never seen a lot of examples of people that work 2 or 3 jobs that were more well off than other people, unless their expenses were extremely low. And even then, it doesn't really always happen that way. So I'm always push you in the space of the entrepreneur to create a business, to create something where you learn how to go make income. You personally go learn how to make some income for yourself. There's a couple skill sets you need. We'll probably talk about it next week. Sales and marketing. You want to learn anything? I was just telling this to one of our coaching clients. Sales, marketing. If you can get a skill set, because these are skill sets, that's why you don't go back to school to have to get it. You just need to learn it, whether you get a job in it, whether you get a mentor or a coach in it, whether you read some books on it, listen to some podcasts. Sales. How do I influence another human being? Sales is not used car sales where you're selling some crappy product that you don't even like. Sales is learning how to influence another human being, influence another person to do what's best for them. It's an influence. So what do you have to do to influence your children? You have to communicate to them. You have to take an interest in them. You have to listen to them. You have to be able to go back and forth, right? Like that's an influence. So that's what sales is. It's the ability to influence somebody, right? To do what's best for them. The second skill set is marketing. It's how do I get more people to hear what I'm doing? How do I get attention? How do I get more eyeballs? How do I get more ears? How do I get more listeners? Like, how do I get more attention on what I'm doing? Barbara Corcoran, I remember from Shark Tank, gave kind of 2 of these lessons. She said, number one, the number one skill she would look for in an entrepreneur is their ability to sell. That's the number one thing she said. If she was going to invest in somebody, she's like, they have to be able to sell, meaning they have to be able to influence somebody, right? Because that's going to happen throughout their business career. And then she gave an example of what marketing looked like to her. She said if she took over a house listing, because she's in real estate, she's like, if I took over a house listing and it just wasn't selling and da-da-da, she was like, I would put a huge pink elephant on top of the house. I got buy an inflatable pink elephant. I'd put it on the top of the house. She was like, I think this was a real story that she did do that, and the house sold, the building sold within a week or something like that. Why? Because she knows how to get attention. She knows marketing. That's all attention is. Putting a big pink elephant on the top of a house that's trying to be sold is different than you just putting your little sign in front of it. That person might not know how to market as good as Barbara Corcoran does. So if you can learn sales and marketing, learning how to influence somebody, and then secondly, learning how to get more attention, more people to see you and hear your message. You may have a great product, you may have a great message. If no one hears about it, it doesn't mean anything. If you can create skill sets around this while you're at your job, while you're doing what you're doing right now in business, you can then start something else that if you find the right industry, you find a good supply and demand arbitrage, you can build something big for yourself. You can boost that income and really start to shift your financial life. Okay. So sales and marketing, we'll probably talk more about it in this upcoming weeks. Because again, this is a huge driver, y'all. Huge driver in your income and your ability to go out and create income for yourself and your family. All right. So every Friday, we're a little late today, but every Friday, 10:30 Eastern, we're jumping on BizBuzz Live, have this conversation around income, around cash flow, around how to bring in more of it, how to keep more of it, how to make sure that you're picking the right industries, how to go off and create skill sets for yourself so that you are never at the mercy of the economy, the mercy of a job or a boss or a corporation. You can go out and do all the things you want to do for you and your family. So until next Friday, y'all, take care.